David, you good?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Again, thanks for coming out. You know, we're coming off of 15 productive practices. You know, when you have spring ball for us, our goal is to start identifying playmakers for the 22 season, to become experts in our systems in all three phases, stay healthy, and then continue to develop our roster. And, you know, with this being the 15th practice today, we feel like we come out and have done some of those things. We're still a work in progress for our 22 season. As you can see, wasn't perfect out there, but I do like the way we competed in all three phases. We'll get some really good players back now that spring is over. The guys like Rakim Jarrett and Jay Sean Jones and Dante Demas, who didn't participate, are obviously key components on how we will be able to be productive as we go into our 22 season, as well as getting some of the young players that we recruited here to continue to add to the depth of our team. And so we're excited about it and look forward to getting back together here. The next time our guys are heading into final exams, our returning players report May 31st, and then our freshmen report the second week in June. And we'll start our preseason practices and workouts that lead up to training camp. So really excited about that. With that, I'll open it up to questions.
Start with Jacob Richmond.
Coach, you saw Roman Hemby make a big play early on. Talking about the running back room this year, who else do you think could be a playmaker, and what did you like out of like Hemby and McDonald today?
You know, I like the way that room has come along. When you look out, you know, unfortunately we've dealt with the injury bug here the last week. I think Antoine's got a kind of a sprained ankle, and then Challen has been limited with a lower body injury and went out after a productive run there early. But the running back room, we've been able to create some depth there. Obviously, you saw Roman Hemby in the bowl game, and you saw him today. Kobe McDonald, really talented player for us. And then with the development of Antoine Littleton and also Challen coming back, that's one of the few positions of strength that we feel we have the type of depth we're going to need to get through the season, but also the talent in that room. And that's not even talking about the addition of guys like Ramon Brown, who will be coming in. So feel good about that room, feel good about the second offensive line and how they've been developed as well.
Ellen, to your right.
You mentioned the three receivers not participating. When you look at the guys who were out there, what did you like about Jacob and even the young guys, tight ends?
Yeah, just for Jacob, you know, to see him play fast, to see things kind of slow down for him on the field, to where he could go out and what you see is his natural ability and why he was a heavily recruited guy out of high school. And another weapon for us on the offensive side. Was really happy with the way he played. You see the continued development of chemistry between he and Leah. I thought Ty Felton had a big spring for us and continues to improve as a young player. And so what we've been able to do, even though we didn't have, you know, some of the guys that have played a lot of football around here for us and been productive for us at the receiver position, it's enabled us to develop some of the younger players and newer players, and that was really good to see out of us this spring, that position.
All right.
Coach, we saw Dante, Bo, and like Isaiah play the safety during the game. I just want to get your thoughts on just the overall depth you guys have at the safety position.
You know, still kind of a little bit concerned because, you know, with Dante and Bo, they both played some meaningful minutes for us last year. The guy that really I thought had a really good spring for us, and somebody that I'm looking to be one of those playmakers for us on defense, Glenn Miller being added to the mix back there as a safety and a nickel. Obviously, you know, Shane Mosley as well gives us some depth, but, you know, that position group is an inexperienced group, and some of the inexperience showed today. Gave up a big pass play and then, you know, a missed tackle there for the touchdown. But to me, those are the types of things we want to see, be able to put on tape and then figure out how to get those things corrected. It's a young group back there at the safety position, but they've got to grow up fast. Like I said, we've played Bo quite a bit. He played as a freshman, and last year Dante Trader played in some very meaningful games for us as well, and we just got to continue to develop that position.
And I know you've spoken highly of Corey Dyches a couple times, and getting a chance to play a little bit at the wide receiver room. And just kind of looking back on this spring, you know, obviously he's replacing Chig. So just how do you maybe see him developing this spring, and you know, what does he bring to the already a deep receiving room?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with C. Deitch is he's grown as a leader. I mean, he's now a vocal guy. I thought his development last season and how he came along as a compliment to Chig, who, again, congratulations to Chig. I heard he just got drafted in late in the 4th round, and excited for him and Nick. But Corey's development has been very important for us as a team because he's one of those guys that is a matchup issue. We intentionally moved him to receiver this past spring to develop his receiving skills, working with Coach Brewer, who's done a great job. But we see him being a movement tight end guy, kind of replacing Chig. We'll put him back in the tight end room, the tight end position as we move forward, because we'll get some of the receivers back. So again, continuing to develop him. He has obviously the ability to be a playmaker for us in the system, and really like the way he's coming along.
Coach, what did you see from Ahmad McCullough today, and what's his role going to be moving forward on the defense?
I mean, shoot, you guys must have saw it, because I just saw the stat sheet. He was voted as our lineman of the game, which is big. He's a physical player. Ahmad has been known around here as one of those guys that plays the game the way it should be played. Very physical. Last year played a lot of minutes for us as the inside linebacker. I guess he had 6 tackles today. I had a chance to take a peek at the stats, but he's a veteran guy. He's one of those guys that provides tremendous leadership for us. I like the way he continues to grow in our program and has really taken on a leadership role for us, which is going to be really important for us.
Coach talked about putting on a commercial for the fans. First 2 drives, I think it was 2 touchdowns, 6 plays overall. Getting out to those fast starts, kind of running, doing it quickly. Is that kind of something that's part of that commercial and kind of, showing out the offense that's returning?
I think the best commercial was seeing number 7 out there in his uniform, Dante Demas. Man, he looked impressive. I liked having him out there, and I'm very hopeful we continue to bring him along. But no, as an offensive guy, it's good to see us start fast. I like to see us finish fast. But as a head coach, I don't like the way defensively we defended things. And again, a missed tackle there really hurt us with the big play Roman made. Then they hit Corey on the crossing route, the deep cross country route. We underplayed the ball. So again, some things that we continue to have to work to get corrected. But it's good to see Leah, the chemistry, the offense start fast like that. As a head coach defensively, I want to see us defend it a little better, be a little more competitive.
Dave in the back.
Mike, the 2-minute offense late in the first half with the white team and then in the second half, how encouraging was it to see, because you can't cook up situations like that in an organic game like this, how encouraging was it to see the 2-minute offense be successful?
Yeah, and again, we actually did cook it up because that was part of our game management, how we wanted to play it. We were mandated to run 2-minute offense at the 4-minute mark at the end of the second and fourth quarter, which allows us to work on those things. And to me, getting the ball spread out in the spring game and trying to keep those big bodies from laying on top of each other during the course of it, it kind of forces us to keep the game wide open. But I like the way the young quarterbacks managed it. Both sides did a really good job of moving the ball. Obviously that white offense struggled to finish drives and punch it in, which I would have liked to see it be a little more competitive with that group. They played a little shorthanded, obviously losing Challen early, and then Antoine went out, kind of limped around, and so he went out, and we had to move Kobe over. But it was good to see, that second O-line is what we really wanted to focus on with that white offense. And I was glad to see us run the ball the way we ran the ball, and as we developed those guys behind 5 returning starters, that's going to be important.
Take a couple more. Alex.
Hey, Coach Locks, good to see you.
Hey, Alex, what's up, man?
Not too much. Talked a little bit about at the beginning of spring camp about building on that bowl win from last year. And, just seeing the team on the field today in a game-like setting with fans in the stands, how much more excited does that make you for September to get here already and to actually get to work and build on that?
Yeah, we try not to rush to get to September because we got a lot of work to do. The 22 version of our football team got a lot of work to do, but it was great to see the turnout we had here today, Maryland Day, which is, when this game should be played. It was great to see that we got weather to work with us today. It wasn't cold, a beautiful day to play football, but really, really excited for our players that they were able to come out, play in the shell, kind of in front of a true game-like environment. Obviously, we've scrimmaged, but to see them under the lights per se was good, and it's good for our program, and we're excited.
Last one.
Can I ask one quick follow-up?
Yeah.
Coach, I know you signed an extension yesterday. I saw
Where'd you hear that at?
Somewhere, some guy on the street.
All my cousins are calling me. I don't think that's true. You need to check your sources on that one.
But I saw in the release that you know referred to Maryland here as your dream job, school making a huge commitment to you and to have you keep building this program. What does it mean to you to kind of get that from the school and to know that you have that going forward here?
I mean, it's always good when people recognize the work that you do, but it's not just me. I mean, I've got assistant coaches that have helped me build this thing. We've got staff throughout Jones Hill House. Obviously, my relationship with my boss, Damon Evans, and Dr. Pines is really important, and it's great to be recognized that they see us making the necessary progress. As I said, we're not even close to scratching the surface. The best is ahead for Maryland. For me, it's rewarding to know that I'll have an opportunity to continue to dream big here at the University of Maryland, to continue to work to take the next step to put this program back to where we can compete for Big Ten championships, and really excited and thankful.
Last one, Ryan.
Going back to Chick getting drafted by the Titans, and last night Nick got drafted by the Colts. When you have players that you coach get that call that they're going to the NFL, I think, what does that mean to you personally?
Well, for me, it's rewarding because when we sit on couches as coaches, we talk about developing them as academically, athletically, and then socially. And when you're able to see the players like Nick and Chig create value for themselves because of the time they spent in our program, it's kind of a culmination of a lot of hard work, but it shows the other people coming up through this program that if you do things the right way, you put the work in, you take care of business on the field, in the classroom, and as a person, you go anywhere in the country, but here at Maryland, you'll have a chance to reach every goal you set for yourself academically, athletically, and socially. So very, very rewarding as a head coach to see those guys create the value they've been able to create and possibly change the lineages of their family because of the game of football.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
You guys want to grab the stats?